So I got a question. There are albums and movies that I think are perfect. But what I'm wondering here is if the artists or the creators of these works would agree with me. Something like To Pimp a Butterfly. I think that's an easy, perfect album. Or maybe Phantom of the Paradise for movies. While these two examples are vastly different in what they set out to do and their medium, I do think both of them execute it perfectly. So maybe just for my sake, I'd like to ask Kendrick Lamar or Brian De Palma if they think they made something perfect. And for one of these examples, I kind of have an answer. I found an interview with Brian De Palma from 1975. He's the director of Phantom of the Paradise, talking about tight budget constraints and equipment limitations that restricted the final product of the film. Certain shots and certain scenes didn't go as intended because he couldn't make them as perfect as he saw them in his head. That's also not including the whole scandal where Led Zeppelin's manager sued them for use of Swan Song, and they had to make many last-minute changes to the film right before release due to kind of a stupid trademark issue. So it seems at least partially there's my answer. He doesn't think it was perfect. I think this question's been sitting on my mind pretty heavily due to the proximity of an album release cycle that I'm about to be in. I got an album. I think it's great. But do I think it's perfect? No. There's a couple vocal takes, a couple production limitations that I ran out of money, I ran out of time, and I just couldn't make it perfect. But the thing is, someone might sit down and listen to my album when it comes out and think it is perfect. So maybe with a couple more projects under my belt, a bit more worldly knowledge, maybe some more money and time. With all that, maybe one day I'll be able to make an album that I truly think is flawless. It's perfect. Or maybe I'll never be able to do that because artists are inherently self-critical. Maybe I'll never be able to reach that. Give me like 5-10 years. I guess we'll find out eventually.